in this episode, we discuss power.
Recycling.
Yes, recycling is awesome. And I forgot the other thing.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, yes.
Elon Musk.
There's something else in there. You gotta watch it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Dang, I love Dr. Pepper more than Mountain Dew. Woo!
Man.
It was a good day when they called me.
I realize that this is Sunday and we record, but it feels like it's been a long week. I know Sunday is supposed to be the first day or whatever, but it feels like the last day.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's cold here, man. It's like 58 degrees. It's cold here. It's like 58 degrees. Cloudy.
It's not 58 degrees
rain.
here.
Man, you froze up bigger than. There you're back. All right.
All right. So it's 58 degrees there, huh?
Cold. Miserable.
Yeah. Yeah. So they don't tell you when you get to Europe is they don't have central heat and air.
Oh, no?
No. You might get lucky and have no, most of them don't even have heaters. They have those little machines that heat comes all the way from. I don't know what they're called. Radiators. But they just open up windows and turn on a fan. They're like, nah, it's good. If you make enough fuss, which luckily the guy before me did, they'll put in like a hotel air conditioner. And I just told them Friday, so I live in a 2-story house with a garage that's underneath it. So it's really 3 areas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, bro, how much do I have to pay to get this school to put in another air conditioner? This time on the bottom floor. And he was like, I don't know, man. Like 400 or 500 euro. And I was like, no.
Bring 2.
I was like, I will give 2. And maybe more, depending on when this gets put in. And I was like, let's not forget that when I move, they get to keep it. I'm not taking it with me.
Right. Install that thing.
Yeah. He was like, man, we'll chat with him. I'm not sure how this is going to go. And I said, well, tell them that I can move out in October. I will stay in the hotel on base for 3 months if I have to. It's just crazy.
Yeah, man, you got to have some air conditioning.
Yeah, it's terrible. We have our dehumidifier going, and I'm taking out 10 liters every 6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the worst. You get home, man, you just turn the air on, it just runs a couple minutes, it feels better. That's all it is getting that humidity out of there.
Yeah, it's running all day. Let's not change this. I've got it going upstairs.
I meant regular in the United States. I didn't mean your situation.
Oh, yeah.
Over here in God's country.
Right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Here in the promised land.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty crazy, man. Like it's nuts. So we hang our towels, even the dry ones. You hang them.
Yeah.
Because the moisture in the air will collect on the towel, and you'll grab your dry towel, and it's not dry. Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't know. I don't even know what to think about it half the time. Yeah. I didn't realize that the reason they didn't have dressers is because if you fold your clothes and put it in the dresser, you got soaked clothes. I never would have dreamed. Yeah, I was unaware.
Wow.
So
like to live by the ocean or something.
Yeah. Sure, it's ocean problems. But anywho, yeah. So I paid my 170 euro for the weakest dehumidifier on the island, and I'm just drinking water out of the thing.
And now you found out at 300 more euros, you could have had an air conditioner.
Someday. Maybe tomorrow. Someday.
Hey man, where were we last week? We didn't make a show. What happened?
So I'm not 20 anymore.
No?
I was at a birthday party, and birthday parties here start at like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and they wrap up until the police tell you to leave. like they did us at midnight.
I bet it's some parties like that.
Yeah. I would like to say we were being crazy and rowdy, but we weren't. They just knew it was an Airbnb. So they knocked it exactly at midnight. Said, hey, y'all got to go home. So we did. But about 20 minutes before that, we were playing volleyball with a balloon, just knocking the balloon over the top of the place you hang clothes with her little 9-year-old son. And it was raining really bad. And I slipped on the concrete walking. And I reached up to grab a clothesline.
Okay, so you're just walking down a sidewalk.
Not even that much. I'm stepping back to hit the little balloon in the air.
Oh, okay.
And I grab a hold of this. I grab a hold, and it just comes with me. And I pop back up. Everybody's laughing. I'm like, I'm good, man. I'm good, whatever. And we finished playing. I sit down, and I should have never sat down. Right. I should have just stayed standing up.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the cops said it was time to go, like 20 minutes later, I went up, and I was like, oh. Oh, that hurts. Crap. Whatever. Man, I get home. I'm like, Paige. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Paige, my back hurts, honey. And she was like, okay, whatever. And the next morning, I'm like, baby, I can't get out of bed. It hurts. She was like, get up. We're going to church. And I'm like, no, I tried to get up, man. I tried to do like the roll. It was just like, oh. So I just rolled back, man. I reached over till I found my phone. I called the on-call doctor. And he was like, hey, man, don't worry about it. Just stay in bed. We'll see you Monday morning. Cool. Monday morning, 5 minutes before my appointment, he's like, hey, something came up, man. I can't see till like 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh, my gosh.
I was like, nah, bro. I said, I got to be seen right now. Go to the ER? Cool. On my way. So Paige helps me out of bed, man. I'm looking like grandma on a bad day, man. I got the walker almost. But I live upstairs. So I'm trying to walk down these stairs, man. Bro, I was walking like right foot down, left foot next to the right foot, all the way down. It hurt so bad. Show up there, man. The doctor does his thing. And he's like, just tell me when it hurts. And he just, can't see, but it felt like he just knife-handed me in the spine. And I was like, yeah, that's it right there. He was like, all right, how about this side? And I was like, no. And he put his hand on my butt, which I don't know if he was getting fresh or it was a medical. I'm not a doctor. But right where if you put your hand on your butt, good old nice firm butt, right here, apparently, I bruised this entire area on my left side of my hip. So I have a left hip bone bruise on the left side of my hip. And I was teasing the nurse, man. She's got a mask on. I couldn't tell she's smiling. I kept telling her, why are you smiling? She was like, I'm not smiling. I said, you look like you smiling. What's so funny? And she was like, sir, I have to give you a shot. And I was like, and she was like, no, it doesn't go there. And I was like, now I know why you smiling. This ain't even funny. She's like, no, the other side. I was like, no. And I was like, do I have to lay down for this? And she just busted out laughing, man. She was like, yes, English not good. Pull pants down. And I was like, I don't even know you like that. And she was like, yeah, it wasn't bad, man. She was like, you're gonna feel a little prick. And I was like, not till after dinner. And she was like, she just busted out laughing. She's like, you gotta stop. I can't laugh and give shot at the same time. Oh man.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, she gave me a shot. I come out. The doctor standing outside the door, like all weird looking. He says something to the nurse, like kind of mean or whatever. She walks off. My translator, she says, Jason, what happened in there? I was like, I was just harassing her about giving me a shot in the butt. She said, you're going to feel a little prick. And I made a joke about it. She turned on that doctor, man. She just started screaming at that doctor's face, yelling at him. My translator did. Doctor got mad and walked off. Said, what did you say? I said, he told the nurse not to flirt with you. I told him that you were the problem, and he need to go apologize to her. And oh man, it was funny, man. I didn't mean to cause a ruckus in the hospital, but yeah, it was pretty funny, man. It's pretty funny. To the translators, man, I can't take you American guys anywhere, man. Y'all cause some of you problems, man. You're a lot funnier though, man. Went through a shot, takes the pain away. That's what I tell you. You're not funny a bit when you're hurt. Get that shot, no more pain, man. I say all kinds of. I blame the shot for the dumb stuff.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was a shot.
Yeah, it was a shot. But yeah, I'm on 3 pills a day, 3 times a week, so I can not be in pain. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's whatever. He said that I'll be fine by the time I die.
Yeah, he said,
yeah, he said, he looked at my chart and he said, you're 37. I said, dang, don't tell people, man. Goodness. He said, well, I got good news and bad news. I said, okay, what's the good news? This is the best it gets. I said, what's the bad news? It only goes down from here. Dang. Dang.
I believe that.
Woo. Man, he could have been nice about it, Ted. He could have lied to me. Dang. Yeah.
That's a whole nother show, though, right there.
That's a whole nother show.
In the whole subject of being old, our cousin, man, she found a picture going through her grandparents' stuff. You seen the picture, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Karen says her graduation, I guess, maybe from high school.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you would have been
16.
Are you 2 years younger than Karen? I can't remember.
What's up?
Are you 2 or 4 years younger than Karen? I can't remember.
2 years. 2 years.
2 years. Okay. Yeah. So 16. Yeah. 16.
Yeah. I showed it to Paige and my daughter.
There you go. Yeah. You showed it off.
So Paige goes, she said, you sure look better now than you did. I had hurt. I was like, damn, I thought I looked good then. No.
I know, man. I forgot. I didn't know. Remember you looking like that. That was awesome.
Oh, little Lexi goes, you're sure lucky you didn't have a son. I hurt. Dang. Dang. First, she says, which one's you? And I said, well, that was Uncle Ted. She said, yeah. Who's that? Uncle Ben. Why is your hair goofy? Thanks. You got it. Kids, man, I'll tell you the truth. There's no filter. That shit's straight on. Man.
So I doctored the photo, man. I just knew maybe it just looked like a boy band. I thought at first. So I doctored up the photo.
Definitely.
But the longer I've looked at it, I started thinking now we look like the Hardy Boys. I look like their friend Chet, kind of fat. And look like the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, I like the Hardy Boys better than the boy band, but yeah, definitely. Man. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lexi asked me, she said, Dad, when did you start eating? I said, what do you mean? She said, you looked awful skinny in that picture. I said, I'm skinny now. She said, no, you're not. No, you're not. I said, dang, okay. Ouch. I mean, I'm a $180, but that's not fat. I thought 180 was a healthy, skinny adult.
Yeah.
At 6'7", they probably are. But at 5'9", maybe not. Maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a good picture. I enjoyed all your comments. Y'all went pretty long there. Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to find a picture where I wasn't eating to add to y'all's comments, but I couldn't. All my pictures involve food.
Yeah, I was out of that. I was just thinking about the boy band, man. Ben just unloaded on the pictures.
Yeah, it was pretty good, man. Ben was hitting it up. Ben was going hard. Dang. So you ever eaten squid?
I'm not eating squid, though. Do you eat
Me
squid?
either.
Okay.
I did not. But I have been told now that the best restaurant in all of the the entire area around here is for squid. This guy, he just got it back. He just left Korea. He was in Japan before this, and they went to eat squid. They were kind enough tonight to invite me to the squid restaurant. They let me eat spaghetti at home before they pick me up.
How do they cook it? I mean, here in America, they deep fry it and call it calamari.
No, so apparently they cut it in strips.
Yeah.
I guess. Basically, as you guys know what squid is. They cut it and then they cook it on a grill, and they throw salt, pepper, and some garlic at it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I need it. So it was pretty solid.
Cool.
From what I understand, if you're not sure how to cook something, throw some coals together and toss it on some fire and then eat it. And you can't really go wrong with it, which is good because that's my favorite way to cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, you might call Dodge. My sister-in-law was here last night, and she has a 4-year-old F-150. I don't remember what trim level it is, but she's traded in on a brand new Bronco. They told her it was on a transport to be delivered, which I really hope is true because I read in the paper today that the plant in Kansas City, I believe it's in Kansas City, where they turned it off. Or it's going to turn off on the 17th. It's going to be off for 2 weeks. So I hope hers is actually on the transport. But they offered her pretty good money for that truck. They're giving her $36,000 on her 4-year-old 90,000 mile F-150. I don't remember what trim level. It's pretty nice. It's a nice truck. I don't think it's a platinum. Probably a Lariat. I think it's a Lariat. I call them.
Yeah, I only owe like $20,000 on my truck, so I've paid. Dang, doesn't it hurt you when you've already paid like $16,000 off on a vehicle and you still owe $20,000 on a vehicle? You're like, dang.
I understand it does hurt, but in 5 years, trucks apparently are going to be $30,000 more than they are right now. So
what?
They're only going up, man. I've told you this. That my truck, which is the highest trim model Chevrolet makes, it's cheap compared to the Fords and Rams. Cheap. I mean, like $25,000 cheaper than the Rams and the F-150s.
I hear you, bro. I'm not arguing. I just don't understand. Like, there has got to be a level where they say, okay, we can't charge anymore.
There has to be. But the new Hummer's going to be $100,000. When they said $100,000, that just,
who's buying this stuff?
Maybe like, in California, you get a 30-year note on a vehicle.
All right. So I spent last week going sideways. I spent last week talking about home loans because, as you know, man, it's May. My wife and kids have got to go back to Oklahoma in time for her to start teaching. So I got to pick out a house pretty quick. It takes 45 to 60 days to close. You count that back from August. We're looking at like 3 to 4 weeks. And I got to be like, Ted, I need you to look at a house. Like, that's what we're sitting at about now.
Right.
This fool told me, I care about saying this on the air. This dude did not give me 3 times my income as a max because he said they're tightening up on the restrictions they give for home loans. Last year, it was 5 times your income. And I said, dude, my credit score is over 760.
Yeah, that's strange, man. I think he called up the bank.
Yeah, probably I'm going to.
Man, it's like the housing market has never been hotter than it is right now. It is like on fire.
So what he told me is that that's half the problem, is that they are seeing, and my bank is the military bank that I've used overseas. What they're saying is that right now the market is 20-something, at least 20, in some places 35% inflated. And so to protect their members, and of course that means to protect themselves, they're only offering 3 times your income.
Yeah. It's time to just look outside that brand. And
yeah, I know.
Man,
I just want to get a pre-approval letter, bro. I just had to get a letter.
Yeah. Man, them banks, they can't write loans fast enough. They can't write loans fast enough because there's just no houses to buy because it's just so hot. There's just so many buyers. There's so many people trying to buy a house right now.
Right.
It's red hot, man.
Yeah. But anyways, I just thought it was funny that was the statement when you're literally saying people are getting their income plus to buy a car.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yes,
that's nuts.
It doesn't make any sense. You know, you can't have a job only to make your car payment. You know, obviously I'm talking about, young earners. You can't be under the age of 35 and your entire income for the week is your car payment. Doesn't make any sense.
Right. But that's what we're saying. That's what we're talking about. Like, it's crazy. I mean, dude, I remember buying my first truck, and it was used. It was a year old, and it had less than 20,000 miles on it. I paid $12,500 for it. And I remember 2 years later buying a brand new, never been driven Chevy off the lot, 4-door, for $15,500. And I'm not that old, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're talking 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
So less than 10 years ago, $15,500, and now you can't buy a brand new truck for less than $40,000.
Well, a lot of it is the safety measures. You know, there's a lot more into making a car now than there was even 10 years ago. And the emissions is also the other part of the problem. In order to make the government guidelines, there are so many things that have been added to the vehicles to make them not emit these nasty gases that are they're extremely expensive to make. Lots of really rare metals. There's metals in the exhaust that you probably only learned about in college chemistry. You didn't learn about them in high school. And, you know, they're very expensive. And unfortunately, they all come from China, from the slave mines over there. They're not mined here in the United States. So there's a lot of shipping, and it's really expensive. So that stuff is just not much of. As Americans, we're going to learn how to recycle because our existence depends on recycling what we have. Computers and cell phones and cars. Don't let them sit out in your yard. You need to take them to the recycling center and let those metals get put back into supply.
You're right, and that goes twofold. You can't tell me to recycle my cell phone and give me $5 for it. Like, you know, if you're going to tell me to recycle, you put some money on the line.
You can go to the mall. You know, the mall store will pay you. You know, you can't wait a while, but the mall store will pay you pretty good. They're not going to give you a couple $100 for it. You know.
Because, I mean, unfortunately, like, you're right about Americans needing to know this stuff. But for me, if you tell me, hey, Jason, you gotta recycle your cell phone, you gotta make it worth my time to A, remember to take this thing somewhere, and 2, to actually want to do it. Yeah. Because I've got 2 or 3 of these sitting at home that are just for the kids to play with. Because 1, I don't know where to take it. 2, I don't really care. And 3, you're not going to give me enough money to really make it worth my while. Maybe. I don't know what they give nowadays.
I don't know. They don't pay much. Yeah. I just take my stuff to Best Buy and throw it in the trash can. Hopefully they get something out of it for providing service.
Yeah.
If it keeps one person from working in a slave mine, I'll take every phone I have.
No, you're not wrong. I'm just saying that, like, it goes both directions. The American people have to get into it, and the company that wants me to recycle has to make it viable, feasible, and worth doing.
Yeah. It's really cool. Our local recycle center has nothing to do with cell phones. I take cardboard to our local recycle center. You know, recycling has to be. I mean, you're right. It has to be beneficial. It has to be something that I can easily do. I'm not washing the labels off of steel cans. I don't want to take the steel cans with paper on them. I'm not washing the labels off because there's only so much water in our lake out there. It doesn't make any sense to me to stand in my sink and run water over labels to get the labels. You know what I'm saying? It takes so much time. I want to recycle the steel cans, but I'm not putting that into it. So they go in the garbage. And I do take glass. Beer comes in glass, you know, and I'll take glass jars, but I'm going to take cardboard. But most of the stuff from my recycle center goes to a place in Louisiana, and some goes to Alabama. They have a poster there that lists where they send which product, you know, which state and what it's turned into. It's pretty cool. I wish most places would do that. You can kind of see, you know, what's happening to it. So thankfully, none of our recycling is the stuff that's getting sent to China that is costing us, you know, a crazy amount of money.
That's cool, because that's my biggest complaint about the whole you should recycle is normally if you want to recycle, you have to put in all the work and dedication just to do it. Mm-hmm. When we were kids, they used to pay you to recycle, and that's gone now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you could save up enough newspaper that, you know, you could take it to recycle. They'd still buy your newspaper. Somebody would, but you don't get very much for it.
No,
you got to have hundreds and hundreds of pounds to even get $1. You know, it's not much money.
That's my point again. Is you got to make it worth my time.
I can't believe that and I know our brother Ben, he's really a proponent of this, and it took me a long time to understand. I misunderstood. So when I buy a water bottle from Walmart, it's not my water bottle that ends up in the ocean. I live in Arkansas. My water bottle doesn't end up in the ocean. But when they make the bottle, there's a byproduct that's called microplastics. It's a very, very, very tiny, like powder plastic that ends up on the inside of that bottle. It's just like a residue. And I can drink it and it passes through me and it doesn't affect me. But whenever I urinate or whatever happens to the rest of that water, the microplastics end up, going through the soil, end up out there in the ocean. And the fish in the ocean and the fish in our local freshwater reservoirs, their bodies can't pass out that microplastic and they end up being poisoned because of this microplastic. It's just a byproduct of making a plastic bottle. And it's a byproduct of making anything out of plastic. All plastics end up with microplastics, just like a dust. It's just a dust. It's just very fine. You can't see it. You can't feel it. You have to have a microscope to see it. That's why it's called micro. I cannot believe with the problem with microplastics and the anger there is with the amount of plastic goes in the ocean, or microplastics end up in the ocean, why we haven't moved back to using more glass bottles for things like they used to be 40 years ago. It amazes me. I would buy milk I would buy it in a half-gallon bottle at the store, and I would gladly take them back to the freaking store to be rinsed out and reused. I would be happy to do that.
Me too. I would love that. I don't think anybody is happy with a gallon plastic jug that you have to beat down, crush, finally throw away at work. Again, it's hard to recycle them. Here in Europe, they actually sanitize their milk at like 1,000 degrees hotter than we do in the States. So it does not have to be refrigerated. Exactly. Yeah, I know. My face exactly. It doesn't. There is the thing that you drink in the States that makes you sick from hot milk, they kill here. So our milk comes in paper jugs. And we buy them by the box. And we Americans like cold milk. So we put it in there to cool it off before we drink it and eat it in our cereal. You don't have to. Most people here have never even had cold milk. It's not even something they do. So it comes in paper, like paper cartons, but they have a plastic cap on it so you can tighten it and close it. The only part on it that is plastic is the cap, and it's to reseal it.
I got you.
But Paige and Lexi said it tastes better than this milk at home. I don't drink milk.
I don't believe it.
But they say it tastes better than the milk at home.
Well, it could. It would. I guess it could depend on the grass that's there. So that would change the way the milk tastes. So I don't know what the cows are eating. But I don't believe them that the process is causing milk to taste better. That's what I mean. I'm sure the milk could very well taste better.
Right. Yeah. The milk. Also, the milk is here. It's just Sarah milk. And I think that probably has a lot to do with it too, which the cows that have the milk are here on the island. It's processed here on the island and it is sold here on the island. So you're right. It's a much different, it's like grass, it's like farm raised milk.
I bet that the cows we seen in Hershey, PA, they're out there living on those alfalfa fields. I bet their milk tastes amazing compared to the milk.
I bet it's not even milk. I bet you drink it right off the titty, man. I bet you just
well, yeah.
Your face.
That's the best right there, man. Right out the cow. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, you don't put your lips on the nipple, Jason. Gosh,
no. The whole other joke. Oh my goodness. Wow. Can't tell it to Lexi.
Grandpa said that he'd milk the cows and they pump it into a big tank, so I don't know where it was in the dairy. It wasn't there when we were kids. It disappeared at some point, that big tank. But then they would cut the milk. They'd fill that thing half full of water before the milk truck could get there.
What?
Because when they get to the dairy, they start the pasteurization process, so I guess the water would more or less boil off. But then he said that the dairy, they cut it again. He said it would be a fourth milk. So they'd fill it, they'd cut it half, and he said the dairy would cut it half again, and then they pasteurize it.
That's funny.
And then they call it whole milk, half milk, 1%. That's what he was telling me about. He said that whole milk ain't whole. That whole milk is, you don't know what it is because how much really boiled off,
Yeah.
Anyway, That's a whole other thought.
That made me think about that Spencer book, man, when he's talking about cocaine. And the guy's like, oh yeah, man, any of them big rappers or a rich guy ever got on some real cocaine, he throw it away and say it was garbage. So what do you mean? Well, the first cut happens when it gets to the border. Then the next cut happens when that guy cuts it. And then eventually it's about 87% borax and about 1/8% actual cocaine. Like, what? That's what I thought about your milk. Like, time you finally get this milk, it's pretty much water with a little bit of cream.
Right, just water.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. But anyways, yeah, man, you're right. Plastic is, I do agree with you. I wish that so many things would stop being used for political gain. I'm not trying to have a political conversation, but I feel like what we're talking about right now is common sense needs to be fixed because it's killing our environment. But so many people want to take that and use it for gains in other ways that have nothing to do with fish or protecting society, protecting the environment.
It's cheap. It's cheap and it works. That's, and I understand that. I like going to Walmart and buying my Walmart brand bottled water. I like buying it for $3 for 24 bottles. But
yeah,
man, I would pay another 50 cents or $1 if it, I mean, not necessarily the water bottles, but I would pay a little bit more if I had to take the freaking bottle back and get it because, hey, it's better for you. I'm here to tell you. So, you have a water bottle, don't refill it with Kool-Aid and drink it later because bacteria grows in the water bottle as soon as you open it and start using it. And you cannot wash it out in the sink. There's bacteria in there that will make you sick and stuff can fall off.
Yep.
Can't have it in glass. You can wash glass. Glass will clean.
Yep.
Can't clean plastic.
Yep.
Porous.
Porous. That's right.
Hey, so, more on this. Last week, I had this whole show, man. Last week, I had a whole show. I don't have my notes. But last week, or maybe into this week, there's a power plant in New York, in the state of New York. It's called the Indian Point Power Plant. It's a nuclear power plant. It's been there for quite a while. I'm sure you've heard about it. It's fairly famous. When it was running, when it had 2 reactors, this reactor would power over 500,000 homes by itself. It was almost 750,000 homes all by itself.
Goodness.
Last year, well, it's been under fire because it's a nuclear power plant. It's not real favorable. It's pretty famous. There's been a lot of movies. There's been lots of pictures of it, video, Indian Point Power Plant. They turned 1 reactor off last year. And this year, I believe this week, I haven't checked to see if they've actually stopped yet. Last week or this week, they're going to turn the other reactor off. They're done. Man. They're done. People maybe don't like nuclear power. They want their electric cars, but they don't like nuclear power. Even though now it's, so many countries are moving towards that. The United States is not. But there is no plan to replace the Indian Point Power Plant. They haven't built anything. They haven't started any projects. It's not that they haven't wanted to, but the very people that didn't want the Indian Point Power Plant also don't like the alternatives.
So you know what happens when you turn that power plant off?
Well, yeah. You have to buy power from Texas or something, I guess. They don't like the alternative power production, which would be, green or renewable, those keywords, those everybody's heard them. They don't like them because we'll take an additional 1,300 acres of land to produce power comparable to what the Indian Point Power Plant has been producing up until now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The environmentalists don't want them using 1,300 acres to make power with to replace the power plant.
No.
They're throwing a fit. They won't let them do it. They will not let them use 1,300 acres to make power. They're turning the plant off and they have no way of making any more power.
So I have a question. The environmentalists we're talking about, they live in Pennsylvania?
They live somewhere. They live. I have no idea. I'm sure they live.
This is my new thought process, and I only got this thought process really strong since I have been on this island, because the Tertiarians have a phrase, and it basically means if you don't live on this island, don't tell me how to live on this island. Because yeah. So my new thought process is cool. You don't like ever doing things in Gary, Indiana? Awesome. You better live in Gary, Indiana, because if not, you don't get a voice. Don't come to Gary, Indiana. But if you don't live here,
mm-hmm.
and there's deep, man. It does not mean like you live here. They literally don't care what you say. You can't trace your roots back like 100 years.
Wow.
My assistant, he can trace his roots back to King Philip in 1216 AD.
Yeah.
And that's only go back that far because King Philip killed everybody on the island. That was it. That was the stop. His roots came from another island from Pico when they found that the island was deserted. That's where they started. Almost everybody can. And that's why their thoughts are. If you want to come here and talk about how we should things better, great. You better own a house here. You better live.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't know where the environmentalists are from that, they're upset about it. I'm sure they do. I'm sure some live there, and I'm sure some don't.
Well, I only say it because if they don't have power anymore, I want the guys who are throwing a fit to not have power. If the power goes up by 3 times the price, they should. Hey, I appreciate that you came out the environment. Shell out the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's the power would be replaced by coal and gas fired plants and.
Hey, speaking of Pennsylvania, did you know Pennsylvania is the only state that has 38 active coal mining fires that we cannot put out?
I have read that before. I didn't know it was that many, but I knew there was one up there that was just burning uncontrollably.
38. Paige watched something on Fox the day, like, did you know, or whatever. They were talking about one town that the fire is completely under the town. It is so hot, their roads are melting.
Wow.
So they've evacuated the town. So I Googled it, and there are 38 cities just like this in Pennsylvania. They have reached out to help from everywhere. They've basically been ignored. They cannot put the fires out. It is literally eating the coal, burning the coal deeper than they could tunnel down to get coal. And they're saying that, like, look, guys, if we don't put this out, eventually it's just going to destroy our entire state.
Yeah.
And basically people have been like, nah, it'll go out someday.
I can't believe that they haven't evacuated the cities and just dynamited the whole deal. Just imploded it, get it over with.
Or turn on a great big thing of water and just flood it.
I think that, I don't know. I think I'd read that the water would just evaporate. It would end up causing like a hydrogen fire because it's so hot.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, because it would evaporate the water and the heat would just start splitting the water molecules. So, yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah, they were saying that it's so hot to melt the asphalt that it's basically like having a volcano under your city. Like, it's crazy. And when I hear that stuff, I get why environmentalists are like, y'all got to quit. But you got to have an exit strategy.
You can't just yell and scream and kick, man. You got to have a plan. You can't. Don't tell me to turn the plant off, and then what I try to do, you don't like that either. What I try to do that you say you like, and you don't want to do that either. You have to have a.
Yeah. Hey, man, like, yeah. So this island is very unique. It has less than 60,000 people, so I'm not comparing it to anywhere in the United States because the smallest of cities are this size. But this island is completely self-sufficient on wind, solar, and water power. But that means that every inch of mountain that is flat enough has a wind turbine. And I mean the big ones, bro, the huge ones. And everywhere you look, they have solar panels, which also mean there's nowhere else to build houses. And you can't let the cows graze over there because of what the solar panels do to the cow, which I didn't even know that. Apparently, it's really bad on animals to be near them. And all kinds of stuff. You have to do it because you got to sustain because there's no oil and it costs too much to ship in power. But when I see like how much work goes into just putting power in people's homes, you got to have a plan. This isn't just something you can just do. Like, people smarter than me have got to be working on this stuff.
I just think you said there's only like 70,000 people there total, tourists included, and you look all around, you see all that. That's how inefficient. It's not efficient. Sure, it makes some power. It makes some power.
Right.
It's not efficient. I think it's fantastic that cell phones They actually use such a small amount of power. You could power your cell phone. You could recharge it with a crank, like a hand crank generator. You could do for a few minutes, and you could power your phone. You really could, because it uses such a small amount of power. And I do like that. I like that we've, some of our light bulbs now, they use a lot more energy than they used to, and appliances. It only makes sense to find ways to make things that use less.
Yeah,
and I'm all for that. Absolutely.
They have faucets here that it has a turbine in the faucet.
Yeah.
So when you turn on your water, it charges back the meter.
Hey, that's where we should go.
Yeah. It's freaking cool, man. Like, and they're like, yeah, it's not very much power, but who cares?
Who cares?
Every little bit helps.
Absolutely. Even if it only makes enough to power the freaking pump to pump the freaking water to your house, If it's zero net, man, I'm
right.
Zero. I'm all in.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm all in if it's not that. If it's less than that.
Yeah, who cares? If me doing it, if everybody here just does, I don't know, one garage door opener a week, that's one garage door opener a week.
But the little motor in the faucet, it has to at least make enough to pay for itself over a period of time.
Yes.
It can't
I just thought it was cool. I thought it was cool that they were even thinking that far. But yeah, I just think it's neat, the little innovations they've come up with here and they've kind of just kept it to themselves. And I told them, why are you guys not mass producing this stuff across the world? Like, they said, like, hey, man, America leads the world in technology and innovation and everything. Y'all know about this stuff. You've deemed it not important. Oh, okay. Like, that's a good point. I don't know.
It may just not make enough to pay for itself.
Yeah. Or at least, I don't know. Or it's too, expensive wise. Yeah.
And you have to do it whenever you built the house, I'm sure, to run the wire to the meter,
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably not much more, something. It's not something you can just retrofit later on.
No.
It's still a very neat idea. It's an excellent idea.
Yeah. Dude, Ted, you sent me the coolest picture today. What was that?
That was the coolest, third grade intro. So, man, people all across the central United States this week we got to see where Elon Musk, he sent another rocket ship to space, and he released a bunch of these Starlink satellites that are going to bring internet to the country. He releases them, and they end up in a line. I didn't even know this until this week. I'm walking from my car back to the office about 9:45 at night, and I looked up, and man, I could see him in a line. I seen there was probably 60. I don't know, in a row.
Crazy.
It was fantastic. People all around. They're calling the cops. Talking about UFOs in the sky and stuff.
That's so awesome. So awesome.
That's so great. Yeah. But no kidding, man. I had a moment. I had a moment there in the parking lot. Thankfully, nobody's around. I'm 43 years old. I broke down and cried, dude. I was so overcome with emotion. For one, it's the first time I got to look up into space and see something with my own eye without a telescope that we had put there. Some pretty low Earth orbit. And also because those satellites, man, they represent hope for people to be able to get access to the internet in countries that were never going to get access to the internet. Elon has some contracts with governments and countries around the world. It's not cheap. I mean, he's not doing it for free, but it's much cheaper than not having it at all. And I was just overcome, man, thinking about these people in the far reaches of the other side of the equator, going to get this opportunity. It was great, man. I'd put some pictures up here. It was fantastic, man. People were just having a field day with it.
On the other side of the spectrum, China tried to kill me this week.
They tried to kill you?
Their rocket failed to make it, and debris rained down. And for about 20 minutes there, it looked like it was going to hit the islands in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. Did you get any video?
What's up?
Did you get any video?
No, I didn't. We just got the, hey, look out, guys. It's going to be coming our way. And then luckily, mathematics kicked in, and it was actually not near us. But I did think it was awesome that while Elon Musk is making it look like a free throw, just with ease, on the other side of the globe, our partners in space showed us how not to do it. Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. Been a long show, Ted. Goodness me, man. Falling asleep.
That's all I had, baby. I mean, I put all I had into this today.
That's it. I'm pretty sure I'm dry.
Yeah. There's more in the fridge, baby. I got you 12 more waiting over here.
I'm gonna need all 12 bullets, man.
What's that Yinglinger I got hanging out for you?
Bro. It's only May. You might want to drink those. It's only May. You got time to reload. Got time.
Well, I hope y'all come back next time for another episode of No Show Prep. Bringing you the latest, only the important news that you need to hear about.
NBA draft is coming soon. NBA draft is coming. We'll do the NBA draft, maybe. There's no problem.
Maybe, yeah.
Got that Razorback getting drafted, probably number 8, Moses Moody. So we might have to at least talk about it for a lot.
Hey, I mean, I'm gonna say it here on this is on the air, man. See, this is for real. It's not like I'm, telling a story. But if you want to do a draft video, if you really want to do a draft video, I'll take the day off for the first day.
Woo!
I didn't have enough advance notice for the last draft, so
it
didn't even occur to me. I mean, I knew it was important to you, and I really felt bad, but I didn't realize how important it was until it was too late. But yeah, if you want the NBA draft, I'll take a day off work. So
sounds like a good time.
All right,
man.
hit like and subscribe. See you next week.